Patrick Mahomes' younger brother, Jackson Mahomes, is under investigation for multiple incidents of assault, reportedly showing Mahomes grabbing her by the throat and kissing her at least twice in her office. The QB's brother is accused of shoving a 19-year-old male waiter multiple times. Releasing any additional information would be inappropriate at this time.
I'm gonna tell you guys something that you're not gonna believe. I know for a fact you're not gonna believe this, but I didn't want to record this video originally. Why? Because I got the sense that you guys were over this topic in particular. You have to understand that a huge part of my job is predicting what you guys are interested in this genre, in this niche. And I have to do it all by myself. So whenever I see you guys don't really care about a particular topic anymore, I stop. Unless we post an Instagram reel or a short onto YouTube or TikTok, and a bunch of my followers and subscribers begin clamoring for a full-length video, which is what happened here today. As a matter of fact, I was incredibly transparent. On my good friend JPA Football's Twitter account, I responded to the alleged video saying, I don't know if I have enough self-control to not make a video on this. Almost all the replies on Twitter were requesting me to make this video. So before we get to the content, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and turn on our notifications to help the channel grow. Now that we get all that out of the way, work! So I've made almost $5,000 playing this game over the past couple months and posting my picks and selections onto my Instagram story for you guys to follow them. And the game that I'm obviously talking about is Prize Picks. Right now, when you use my promo code Mikerophone, they'll match up to $100 of your initial deposit with another $100. And it's been a lot of fun. I mean, yesterday I had Killian Hayes getting less than 21 points, rebounds, and assists. He went into the third quarter with 18, and he finished the game with 20.5. I can't tell you how euphoric that feeling was when I saw that I was able to make $210 off of a pick that came within 0.5 of not hitting. So if you want to check out Prize Picks, make sure you use my promo code Mikerophone for a free 100% deposit match up to $100. And follow me on Instagram if you want to follow my picks on Instagram. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, everybody?
Today was supposed to be my day off.
Today was supposed to be my editor's day off. I had everything planned. I had videos scheduled for both Saturday and Sunday. Had some really captivating topics to cover on both the flight mic and on Microphone. And what happens when your boy wakes up? Well, it starts out with me getting a notification that John Morant showed off a weapon and got suspended by the Memphis Grizzlies as a result of that. We're covering that on the Flight Mic channel. And then the moment I finished working on that, I checked my Twitter to see Jackson Mahomes did something truly horrific. So I record the video on John Morant, I go to my gym, I bump into Shannon Sharp of all people. I'm serious. And then I come back, and thanks to one of my editors making a tremendous sacrifice today and working on a day that he typically has the day off, we're able to discuss this really, truly horrific topic. So for those guys that don't know who Jackson Mahomes is, the face of the NFL right now seems to be in tremendous hands with none other than Patrick Mahomes. I'm not gonna lie, for the NBA, I've had this concern for a long time. Once LeBron James retires, who's gonna take the torch from him? But for the NFL, we don't have that problem. With Tom Brady retiring and Aaron Rodgers maybe retiring, the future of the NFL seems to be in great hands with the likes of Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody, and if I did, my apologies. For the most part, I gotta admit, Patrick Mahomes does everything perfectly. I mean, on the field, off of the field, the way he carries himself is absolutely remarkable. And he's a very likable guy, very charismatic. He has a tremendous amount of sponsorships, and he's one of the most prolific players in the NFL and one of the most entertaining players to watch in the NFL. You couldn't hate the man if you tried. Honestly, you couldn't. So people don't necessarily hate Patrick Mahomes. Rather, they really have a strong dislike for two people that Patrick Mahomes surrounds himself with. One being his wife, Brittany, which we covered in our last video. Joe Rogan and Brittany kind of got into a little bit of drama, a little beef with one another. And for the most part, the problem people have with Brittany is she's being a supportive wife for sure. It's just people find her support to be a little annoying. I mean, videos like this, for instance. And there's a lot of this. If you happen to be following Patrick Mahomes' wife on Instagram and you just open up her story and seeing her scream at the top of her lungs into her camera, you're not gonna say, yay, I love seeing this content on my phone. And while I will admit Brittany could be a little annoying, Jackson, his little brother, is a completely different story. For those of you guys that don't know who Jackson Mahomes is, he originally was a 4-star basketball recruit. He had a tremendous future in athletics just like his brother Patrick. But once he saw Patrick Mahomes taking off the way he did for the Kansas City Chiefs, he decided to give up on basketball altogether and ride his coattails for clout. It's really unfortunate because Jackson would have been a fantastic basketball player, but he resorted to clout chasing instead. Why am I saying this? Well, whenever you appear on TikTok and just do silly little trending dances, you're not really contributing much. You're not even bringing value in terms of content. And I'm not talking about the people that actually know how to dance. I'm talking about the people that just memorize trending dances and just do a bunch of this.
I don't know what the that was.
And throw it up in hopes of getting a following. Dude, I just cut myself so badly doing that. Oh my God. And originally, that's enough for people to say Jackson's just an annoying little brat who's just trying to leverage his brother's clout just so he can be famous for absolutely no reason, just by association. That's a bit of an eye roll. And then he did some things that truly indicate that he is not a great person. In week 1 of last season, for instance, he dumped a bunch of water on some Baltimore Ravens fans after the Baltimore Ravens fans got under his skin. You can pass that as someone needs to teach Jackson how to deal with individuals that are going to try to get under his skin, especially because he's Patrick Mahomes' brother. But then it got way worse. One day, Jackson decided to do his silly little TikTok dance on the memorial of Sean Taylor. Everybody hated him for this. Everyone had a strong dislike to this because this is a brand new level of disrespect to a player that honestly had a tragic end to his career. I don't even need to sit here and explain to you why what Jackson Mahomes did in that particular moment was horrible. Following that, Jackson Mahomes attempted to get a Kansas City bar canceled. Like, he straight up posted them onto his story because they wouldn't serve him food fast enough. Luckily, the Kansas City restaurant would clap back, and a lot of people would side with the Kansas City restaurant because Jackson Mahomes just comes off as very pompous, very self-absorbed, very self-righteous, very talentless, and yet extremely entitled, primarily because of his brother's success. To his credit, I believe Patrick had a nice conversation with Jackson and Brittany over the offseason because they were a huge distraction last year. And as a result, you didn't hear much from Jackson or Brittany throughout the season. Props to them. It seemed like the moment the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, they just came out guns blazing trying to grab headlines again. It's like they just couldn't help themselves. And while Brittany, I don't necessarily think she was hunting for these types of situations, Jackson literally, like at a snap of a finger, the moment the Super Bowl ended, he started dancing on the field. And then following that, you saw Patrick Mahomes giving an interview to the NFL Network, and Jackson's in the background dancing as well. And while this is all really cringy, while this is really annoying, at a specific point, we all agreed that it's not like he did anything bad. He's just doing cringy little talentless TikTok dances on the football field. Doesn't make him a bad person. Yeah, he tried to cancel a Kansas City bar, but I'm sure he's grown from that. I mean, he's dumped a bunch of water on Baltimore Ravens fans. Who cares? Well, so the next part of this story was a little interesting. This morning we woke up and we found out that a woman accused Jackson Mahomes of kissing her forcibly. And the exact quote goes like this, and it's absolutely wild. And this is coming from the Kansas City Star, by the way, very legitimate newspaper. So according to the Kansas City Star, police are investigating allegations that the younger brother of Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes assaulted a waiter and the owner of an Overland Park restaurant last weekend. In separate incidents, Jackson Mahomes allegedly shoved the 19-year-old male waiter more than once and then forcibly kissed the 40-year-old female owner of the restaurant of Aspen's Restaurant and Lounge. Now, I got this comment a lot. A lot of people assumed Jackson Mahomes' interests in terms of men and women, especially on my Instagram page. So obviously, these are some crazy claim because I had some assumptions myself. Whatever you decide to do, that's on you. If you like men, great. If you like women, great. It's none of my business. There's nothing wrong with either way.
My fight song.
But obviously, this leads to some skepticism about whether or not this report could be true. And there's surveillance camera footage to back up these crazy claims. Check this out. We're going to show you in just a sec. Police have been evaluating the establishment's surveillance video recordings from last Saturday night as part of their investigation. Restaurant owner Aspen Vaughn told The Star. Authorities would not release a report of the incident, but provided the following statement in response to a request for information about the status of the investigation. The police department is aware of the incident that occurred on February 25th, 2023 at a business near 151st and Metcalf. The department is still investigating. Releasing any additional information would be inappropriate at this time. Anyone with more information should contact the TIPS hotline at 816-474-TIPS. An attorney for Jackson Mahomes provided the following statement. Jackson has done nothing wrong. Our investigation has revealed substantial evidence refuting the claims of Jackson's accuser, including the statements of several witnesses. We have reached out to law enforcement to provide the fruit of our investigation so that they may have a complete picture of the matter. In an interview and a series follow-up texts with The Star, Aspen Vaughn recounted the events of last Saturday, which the waiter also backed up. She also provided a video showing Jackson Mahomes grabbing her by the throat and kissing her at least twice in her office shortly after 10 p.m. His advances were unwelcome and shocking, she said, and she believes he was intoxicated. All right, we're gonna get her statement, then we're gonna show you the footage, and you can let me know what you think about this. She claims that he forcibly kissed me out of nowhere, and I'm telling him, pushing him off, saying, "What are you doing?" And then he proceeded to do it 2 more times, where the last time I was pushing him off, and I can see on cameras that somebody was outside the office door, and I was yelling for them to come help me because he's big and massive. At 6'6", Mahomes is more than a foot taller than Vaughn, who is 5'4". Now, these two actually have a history because, according to Vaughn, Jackson Mahomes has been a frequent guest at a restaurant due to his friendship with her stepdaughter, who also works at Aspen. He had been in to see the stepdaughter earlier that Saturday, she said, and was pleasant. In December, Vaughn posted a Facebook photo of her and Jackson Mahomes sitting side by side, and in the comment section referred to him as a good kid and a good friend of her daughter. But he's been disruptive during some of the more than 10 times he visited Aspen's. I would say 1 out of 4 times he comes in, it's not a good experience. Oh my God. Look, you guys see the video for yourself. The reaction I've been getting on my Instagram page is, 1, I didn't know he was into women. 2, it doesn't seem like he's forcing onto her. And 3, we should lock this guy up. My take on this matter hasn't changed. You're the brother of Patrick Mahomes. Riding his coattails for clout is one thing, but sabotaging and tarnishing the good Mahomes name is a completely different story. I mean, on one hand, fine, go ahead and ride your brother's coattails to the land of clout where people are consistently bullying you and insulting you on your TikTok while you're doing these cringy dances. But at the very minimum, don't be a human being, because you can't do stuff like this and then play victim on your TikTok. For those of you guys that don't know, if you go to Jackson Mahomes' TikTok page, the description is, "Sup, I get bullied a lot, but I'm still here." Honestly, I can't really give my full take on the matter. If what is alleged is true, then Jackson is clearly a piece of and is even more selfish and self-absorbed than we could have ever imagined. And now he's once again in the business of dragging his brother down. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about all this. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike. I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.